Hey everybody, this is Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch, and I'm here tonight with my guest Cynthia from Cynthia's Joyful Creations. Welcome in. While we wait for people to come in, as you come in, let us know what's on your hook and what's in your cup. So, my hook is a square for my daughter's blanket that was supposed to be. Oops, excuse me. There we go. I forgot I had turned that on to make sure it was on top chat. And you know what? I didn't even check to make sure that it was still on top chat. I've noticed that if I put it on, I mean live chat, not top chat. I find that if I put it on live chat too early, or if I don't do it when we're actually on, it will switch back and be on top chat. And I'm like, no, I need live chat. But anyway, on my hook is a square for the blanket that was supposed to be done for my daughter for Christmas, which I did not get done. Then I wanted to have it done for the end of January, but I got sick. So trying to
You're
work on
working on it
this.
now.
Yes. I've gotten a couple of them done while I wasn't feeling good. And I do have other projects that I work on because I can't work on just one project or I go crazy. And in my coffee is the little bit of coffee that I have left from earlier because I started to get a migraine and I try caffeine first before I go to my meds. So luckily caffeine will help. And I
Nice.
did see that the chat number went up a little bit. So welcome in whoever came in. So what's on your hook tonight? So I was going to say, I already know, but they don't. So
So I have decided to jump onto that 100-day project. So right now I am currently working on doing a towel topper a day. So that's what I'm working on. I'm actually working on, it's black. It's the first time I've ever made a black one, but my towel is Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. So
I
I'm trying to change up the colors on the towel toppers. So this one's going to be black and it's going to be done with a white trim.
cool.
Mhm.
I saw your towels and I'm loving them.
Oh, thank you.
I've never done towel toppers. So I may
And
have
I've
to
been
ask you, sorry, my school day is coming back to me. Ask you how much you're going to charge for them because I have a friend who just loves Disney. Absolutely loves Disney.
So for the Mickey Mouse towels, it's $10 with the towel topper because
Okay.
the towel alone cost me $5,
Yeah.
and then of course the yarn and the button. So technically, I'm probably making a $2 profit, but that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So
Alrighty. Let's see. Kathy Belangia says, hi, AJ and Cynthia, drinking flavored water and shawl on my hook. And is that which shawl is on your hook, Kathy? I get to know what's on Kathy's hook because she's one of the ladies who come into the virtual chat. So
oh, nice,
she's
nice.
got two of them going right now. Amarina's Crochet and Tell says hello. Hello, Amarina.
Hello,
And
Amarina.
hello, Samantha Stewart. How are you doing tonight? She says hi, Cynthia, and hi, AJ.
Hey, Samantha.
It is
And
good
thank
to
you, Kathy. Sorry, AJ.
it's okay. It's good to see you again, Samantha. I haven't seen you for a while. But then again, I haven't done a live or anything for a while either. So okay. You guys may not have all heard me since I think we only had one person in when I said it. Just let us know what's on your hook and in your drink while we're waiting for others to come on in and join us. But yeah, I saw your I was watching the first one and the Eye of the Tiger was playing. My husband is like, "Are you looking for songs to play or something?" I was like, "No, just watching Cynthia's channel."
My favorite was last night with the Mickey Mouse and being able to find that song. Hey, Mickey, Mickey, you're so.
Yeah, Hey Mickey, You're So Fine. The
That was
remix
like,
on
oh
it.
my gosh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I thought that was cute too. Um, I'm just starting to learn how to edit my my videos. So, like when I watch yours and stuff, when you have all of the music at the beginning and all your different stuff, I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool. I have no idea how to do that."
My son,
Someday.
my son taught me how to do a lot of that.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't realize I started looking for programs on my laptop because I had a good one on my phone, but I cannot tape while on my phone, and the only one that I can use is when it's facing me, and then it has the screen protector on it, so it's always looks cloudy.
Right.
So, I prefer to tape on my computer, and, I found that in the store for Microsoft, they had what is the name of this? Movie Maker, and
Oh,
they had it on a sale. I think I paid, like, $3 and something for it.
wow.
So, I mean, I got a great deal on it. If not, it may have been $5, but it was less than 10 bucks. I was like, "Wow."
That is,
Grabbing that, and I was using, what was the name of the other one I was using? Let me see here real quick. I was using Lightworks, and I would open Lightworks, and I would just be like, "Whoa." Blown away, have no idea. Open Movie Maker, and I'm already doing things that I couldn't figure out on Lightworks. So
nice. That's great.
Uh, Kathy says cute towel topper. And then she says a new one with puff stitches. Actually, I have 3 now in the works. Well, wow, and puff stitches. I didn't think you liked puff stitches, Kathy. Anne Marina's Crochet and Tell says I'm making Pamela at Pamela's Adoring Crochet shawl that is in Crochet World magazine. I'm using 2 strands together of twister yarn from Hobie. I saw that shawl because I get Crochet World and I show previews of it, or not previews, but a flip through of it, and I loved it. It's gorgeous. I was actually thinking of possibly making it. Samantha wants to know what you're working on right now, Cynthia, so she didn't hear.
I am working on a towel topper for one of my Mickey Mouse towels. And I'm doing it in black and kind of a cream.
It's going to be gorgeous. I love all the ones that you've shown already.
Thank you.
Okay, let me get to the end of this row real quick here. And get us started, and then I'll be able to work while we talk.
Are you still getting chats?
They are coming sporadically. Like, I think you must have seen the cute
Oh, there
towel
we go.
topper when you said thank you to Kathy a minute ago, and I didn't have it, and all of a sudden it was like boom, I had them all.
Okay.
Amarina says getting ready for bed. Just wanted to pop in a minute. I am so glad that you did. That was so sweet of you. If I remember right, and I'm not good with my memory, Amarina's from Australia, right? I believe. I could be wrong.
I could
I
be
have
too, but I think so.
I have somebody who pops in from Australia, and I'm thinking it's her.
Wait, Amarina. No, she's here in the States.
Okay. Okay.
She moved like maybe 2 years ago, I think.
Well, I guess that would make sense if she said she's getting ready for bed because it would be daytime in Australia,
It
I
would.
believe, or late at night. I can't.
Yeah, it would be lunchtime on Wednesday right now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Yes. Kathy says that Amarina is crochet. I love that shawl. Yes. She's been talking about making that shawl since she saw it in the magazine. It is gorgeous. Kathy and I are actually working on a shawl together.
Okay.
So we are watching the tutorials and that together, and it's really interesting because we'll get onto video chat, and then I have to turn it on my TV, and she has it on her tablet, and we're trying to work it out together. It's pretty fun. I think it's
So,
really cool when you have somebody and you can make something together with them.
oh, I absolutely agree. That's what I enjoy about Crochet Club. So, what weight of yarn are you using, and like what color?
DK weight, and I have a variegated like browns, and it's a coffee shop yarn from Hirschner's.
Right.
So it's different browns and stuff. Java something, I think, is the name of it.
Oh, wow. Pretty.
Alrighty. So we might as well get ready and or start the chat. Yeah, I don't know if this is like not showing stuff. Kathy, could you say hi for me really quick so I can see if the chat's working? I don't know if we're just dead in here or if it stopped working again. Anyway, the first thing I usually ask everybody when I have them on, okay, she said hi. So
Let's see it.
thank you, Kathy. um, my brain just lost my thought. What made you start your channel?
What you just said, wanting someone who liked to crochet. So I would have someone to share my enthusiasm with, and my projects with, and my frustrations with, and just the company of having someone else that, enjoyed crocheting. Because at the time, there wasn't anyone here. And so that's why I started it.
That is so cool. You and I started them from about the same reason. You seem so far away. I was trying to find
Oh,
a
sorry.
different, it's okay.
It's probably because I'm sitting low too, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I have lost so much weight that my clothes are hanging off of me, and so I was trying not to expose anything.
That is so funny. Okay. If I stood up, the top I'm wearing, after I put it on today, I told my husband, I said, it's like a tent. I've lost 40 pounds like in the last 4 or 5 months.
Right.
So my top is like huge. I told him, I said, it's like a dress. He said, it's too short. I said like, not that it is a dress, but it's like a dress. And I was kind of sad, but happy at the same time because I love this top.
I know. That's how I feel about this one. I love this one. But yeah, I'm 32 pounds lighter than I
Awesome.
was in 3 months ago. So yeah.
So do you mind if I ask what you're doing to
I
lose
don't
weight?
know. I don't know. That's it. I just, for kicks and giggles, because I go to the doctor Friday, and
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to prepare myself for what she's going to say. And so I went to kind of get on our scale here at the house just to see. And the funny thing is what I'm telling you, the 32 pounds, I had on a jean jacket and my tennis shoes. So I don't know. The only thing I can tell you that I've done differently is the amount of water I'm drinking a day. I used to always be dehydrated because I never drank. If I got I'm not lying. If I got 8 ounces of some kind of fluid down me in a day, that
Uh-huh.
was a miracle. I just didn't drink. But now that I'm pushing and doing almost 240 ounces of water a day, there's 40 ounces in this one bottle.
Uh-huh.
And I'm drinking at least about 5 of these a day.
Wow.
So in fact, I'm on bottle 5 now. And that's the only
Wow.
thing I've done different. So I think what happened is I've actually lost a lot of water weight.
That could be.
So
But I'm sure you lost more than if you lost how much did you say again?
32.
32?
And
You've
that's
had
what
to have
she's
lost
going
some
to do.
regular poundage too because it's not usual, I don't think, that somebody has that total much in water weight. 10 to
Right.
20, I think my doctor had told me, but not over that. So you've lost some regular too.
And I was going to say, plus the only other thing I can think of is now that we've had some warmer days and stuff,
Uh-huh.
um, I'm still don't have complete feeling in the upper part of both my legs. And so the strength and all of that is not what it needs to be. But with the warmer days, I don't have all the body aches. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about with that the cold weather brings to the joints and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been able to move more and I've been able to go for walks outside. So I think that a little bit of actual exercise has probably helped with a little bit of that.
Awesome. Kathy says
So
that's great, Cynthia. I think we lost both Samantha. I mean, Amarino said goodnight, but I think we lost Samantha too. So, which is fine. She tends to jump
go
in,
back
say
and
hi,
forth.
and jump out, and jump in
Yeah.
whenever. And
Yeah.
so I learned that a long time ago.
She's our little social butterfly of the group.
Yeah, and I
She
think
does that on movie night.
the ones who normally come in on my chats are busy tonight, so which is fine. That means Kathy and I have you to ourselves until the replay.
Hey, honestly, I'm just having fun hanging out and crocheting.
So am I. I was so happy that I was finally able to get you on. I've been looking forward to this for so long.
I'm so happy that I know you're not completely feeling better, but feeling better enough to be able to do this.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm
Or either you're
trying.
just putting on a really brave face.
No, we had to cancel AKA twice because of my being sick. And then we did our last one last week. And then, because we rescheduled it for a week later, and then we ended up having to cancel it because I just wasn't ready.
Right.
I still wasn't well enough. So then we did last week's, which was on Ambi's channel, which she should be in later. And then we were going to do one, should be this coming Monday because we were doing them on Mondays. And when Kaylin said that she couldn't do them for a couple months, we decided to go back to Wednesdays because we had a lot more people coming in. Monday nights, you got people getting ready for bingo. And then I know there's another big chat. Kaylin had told me, I can't remember. I can't remember her name. Something Butterfly. I can't.
Yeah,
I
that's
am,
where I'm at on Monday nights is with Jeannie with Butterfly
yeah,
Dreams.
Jeannie.
Crochet
Yeah.
More. And then after her is Miss Margie.
Yeah. I am so bad with names. So bad with names. And I've been so bad, I'm behind on all my channels. So since I've been sick, I haven't been able to watch, and catch up on everybody. So,
Right.
and I
You've
mean, it's
got to
hard
take
to
care of
do
yourself.
anyway when you're trying to get everything together, and when you don't, feel good every day, you have issues. But when you're sick like I've been, it's just been really, really hard to watch unless I have days where I'm just like blah and I sit and I just turn it on the TV and just watch people. But then I don't remember what I'm watching because I feel so blah. So it's kind of like a catch-22,
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna have it this next week. We're gonna cancel it and we decided to go ahead and have it. So I'm kind of excited about that. I told Ambi, I said, I hope I'm feeling better, and I'm going to do everything I can not to cancel. So
Well, you have to take care of yourself.
yeah, I know you do. But I also got to get up and do things. I can't stay laying around and all the time either. So, and it's kind of funny. The reason you started your channel is the reason I started my channel. Because being home alone and not having anybody to, talk to, and not being able to go and do the, community, crochets that, alongs that they used to have. And since I can't drive to get to any anyway, I didn't really have a crochet circle before, but I at least got out of the house and I had people to talk to and knew other, a couple people who crocheted, and I could talk to, but
Right.
yeah, it's just not the same when you're at home and you're crocheting and you have nobody to share things with. So I'm glad I did because I wanted to try and do a virtual chat somehow and I didn't know how to do it. And then I decided to start my channel and it's been one of the best experiences because I've made a couple really good friends and I can say are my best friends. So
Right.
it's really worked out. Okay. I'd lost my hook earlier and found it and put it somewhere and now I'm finding that I can't find it again.
Oh no.
Cool. I just pulled it out right before you came in the room too, so it's got to be here. It's probably sitting next to me. Okay. So, on your channel, what are your main things that you have every week?
So every week, on Tuesdays at 11 a.m., of course, I'm on Eastern Standard as well. So all the times are Eastern Standard, but at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, I do have a Bible study on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And we are currently doing a Joyce Meyer study called Battlefield of the Mind. And then on Thursdays, I have Cup to Hook Conversations. And this week will be my 124th episode. And I have
Awesome.
been doing Cup to Hook Conversations for almost 3 years. March the 4th is my anniversary date of starting my channel. So that's like this week.
Awesome.
And I wanted to do some kind of celebration, but right now I'm so engrossed in a tutorial that I'm doing, and I'll mention that in a minute. But so I do a Cup to Hook conversation on Thursdays. It used to be Fridays until probably about 6, 7 months ago. I moved it to Thursdays to kind of break things up because um, I had gone back to work and it just was just too much to work all day and then be up all night on two lives. Because on
Uh-huh.
Fridays I also have Cup to Hook movie night, and we've been doing that for 3 years. And we started out with Longmire, and then we went to Call the Midwife, and now we're doing Stranger Things. So Cup to Hook is at 7 p.m. on Thursday, and Cup to Hook movie night is on 7 p.m. on Friday. And we just have trivia. We watch one episode of the series and then have a little trivia. And you earn points. Points earn tickets. Tickets go into the big giveaway for the grand prize. Um, but we have a lot of fun. It's kind of more than just hanging out doing trivia. It's like really hanging out with friends. It's kind of like a slumber party,
Uh-huh.
except my husband's involved. He does the score, so it's not a complete slumber party because there's a guy. But
I
uh,
can tell anybody who has never gone, who, if you're watching the replay, or Kathy, because I know she hasn't been on your channel yet, that it is a lot of fun.
well, thank you
I
for
have gone a couple times and it's a blast. And I
that.
love how your husband knows everybody, and everything. And it kind of reminds me of when we do the virtual chat in my Facebook group, because my husband, who actually is home right now, sitting in his chair, he'll sit in his chair behind the computer so he doesn't see everybody, but he can tell you almost who everybody is by voice.
Right.
And he will talk back, if we say something, he'll say something back, and he cracks everybody up all the time. And, we just have a lot of fun.
Nice.
I found my hook, by the way.
Yay. Well, good. So those are like the main things that I do every week on my channel. I also used to do every Saturday a shout out for content creators and new folks to my channel. I'm still doing that, but I am doing it once a month, and I'm doing it different. I also do shout outs for birthdays if I know somebody's birthday. And I used to do an actual video for that, but since I am trying to expand and do other little segments,
Uh-huh.
I started doing birthdays on my community tab and putting it to use. Um, and then I started a segment, and normally it would probably do at least 3 or 4 videos a week on it. But I've been kind of like so focused on the Stranger Things blanket that I'm designing and putting tutorials out on that I haven't done it as faithfully as I should. But it's called Wait for It with Cynthia. And it's just recognizing the national days that we have, you know. Like one of them I did was National Pizza Day. One of them was National Bully Recognition Day, Frappe Day. So they're just different ones. But hopefully I will be able to start doing more of those. But they're kind of, at first it was just kind of like, hey, this is like National Frappe Day. Go get a frappe with me. But now I'm trying to also incorporate a little bit of education in them.
Okay.
So anyway, but yeah.
Kathy says, sounds like a fun channel, Cynthia. Just threw yarn in your window.
Oh, thank you. So,
It's very fun. I love Cynthia's channel. Speaking of national days, yesterday was National Polar Bear Day.
okay.
Somebody, one of the blogs that I watched, they had sent that in their blog, and then they put all their polar bear related items in there. So it was like, that was kind of cool to learn.
That is cool.
If I catch them in time, I try to put them on my group on Facebook, like National Love Your Pet Day.
Right.
That was just last week, I think.
Speaking of pets, I hear your baby.
Yeah. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Come here. There's Klua.
Oh, look. And
You
the
say
other
hi to
thing that I
Klua?
do, AJ, is the second Sunday of the month at 9:30 p.m. I have what's called Friends Praying for One Another. And
Mm-hmm.
we just literally just get together, and anyone who has a prayer in the chat, I just pray for them. And so just very laid back. So I started out as a crochet channel, and now I'm kind of like a crochet channel with a little bit of ministry. So, which is like who I am. It's like
Right.
makes me me.
Yeah, I like that. I love watching channels. I know yours is like that. Um, Lottie, I always forget Lottie's name, her channel name. Oh, goodness.
I'm not
Kathy
sure
says
who
hi,
that is.
Kalua. Um,
It's a beautiful cat, by the way.
Thank you. We have two others since the last time you and I talked, I think. Well, really talked. We have a little bit who is also a black and white, and they look so much alike from behind. We have to wait for them to turn around because Kalua has her mustache and, well, her birthmark. I can't believe I just called it a stash. Everybody else calls it that. And I'm like, no, it's her birthmark. But Little Bit has the complete pink nose. She doesn't have the extra
Right.
black mark.
But she has white ears.
And she has white ears. Yes. Yes. And I always forget that. Like when I'm looking at them, I always forget that Little
And I
Bit has
always
white
look at
ears.
the ears on both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob says he always has to look at the ears. And then we have Charcoal, who
Bob, we said
is,
hello too, by the way.
A Russian.
excuse me?
I said, tell Bob we said hello too, by the
Cynthia
way.
says hello.
Oh, don't I said hi.
We have Charcoal, who is a Russian blue. So
Wow.
he's charcoal gray. He's gorgeous. Long hair. And unfortunately, we lost Halford, Bob's black cat,
Oh,
back on December 16th. So, yeah, that's kind of rough.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really hard, but we know we'll never have another cat like him, but, still got to take care of our babies that we got here. So,
That's right.
And then we have our community outside, because we are hosts for a cat community through Meow Mission, which is the catch and release of the feral cats, and
We're a rescue site.
a rescue site. Yes. So we have 2 tiger cats who are out there frequently, and then another black and white one who's more of a long haired,
Right.
and she's got a lot more black than white, if I remember right. So, yeah.
We should be neighbors. We have 4 cat families outside. So.
Yeah. And well, I'm one of the things I'm doing on my channel, which I think is also new since the last time we chatted, is I make cat toys on Fridays. And actually, Kathy just won. I renamed Fridays. It used to be what was it? I can't even think of what it used to be. Work a Whip Friday.
Oh, cool.
Just working on whips. And now it is Furtastic Feline Fiesta Friday.
I like that. That is cool.
And it's the day that I work on cat toys that are being donated to Meow Mission. So,
by the way, I'm trying to pull you up on my phone. I turned the volume down, but I'm trying to pull you up on my phone so you can get more hours.
Oh, thank you. I just need to get enough subscribers, so I need all the hours.
Do you know I got my hours before I reached the subscribers?
Yeah, I knock on wood.
Subscribers,
I
though,
do
personally.
Okay with hours right now. Again, knock on wood. I don't want to say that, and then all of a sudden get a bunch of subscribers, but I don't ever see that happening, and then not have enough hours. But right now, the other thing I'm doing is it'll start tomorrow, the knit challenge that St. Jude does.
Right.
I actually wrote them, and their customer service part, and I wrote them and I said, you might want to change the name to Knit and Crochet Challenge. I'm like, because I'm sure you would get a lot more people who would do this challenge if you put the word crochet in it. And they said, well, we accept people who do crochet as well. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. That's nice to know. So I went, and they said, go check out the site. And I did. So, we have always been supporters of St. Jude. We've actually, donated for about 25 years, ever since my daughter was little.
Right.
And then one of my friends, best friends from when I grew up, her daughter had cancer when she was little, and they actually, went to St. Jude. So it's a mission close to my heart. And I was like, it's kind of cool, because with it, when you look at it, challenge, you would think they tell you what you need to do, or you need to make something for them, but you can make whatever you want. You can donate it to whoever you want. You can keep it for yourself. You can, do what you want. It's more of a challenge, like a jump rope challenge or something, where, people just donate because you're doing something.
Right.
So they want you to, to craft and show your progress, do whatever you want, and then, get people to donate. So I get to kill, 2 birds with 1 stone. I get to make my toys for the cats and donate to Meow Mission, and then collect money for St. Jude's.
Right. That is sweet.
So it's really special for me.
Well, God bless you for that.
Yeah, well, always got to give back. My grandma taught me when I was little that all anybody needs is love. She said, money's nothing. You just got to have love.
Yeah.
Always have to remember that when things get tight and, things get rough. But
well, I've always believed too, AJ, that when we give back, it makes room for God to bless us with more.
Yeah, well, it keeps me going. I mean, because when I was massaging, I used to give massages for other people in the AIDS ministries. Because unfortunately, people with HIV and AIDS, a lot of them have lost their families, and stuff just due to ignorance and them not wanting, to be there for them, where I've been lucky with that. My family has supported me from the first day that I was diagnosed.
Right.
Um, but, others don't have that support. And that's one of the first things they lose is, the sense of touch, and, getting a hug or, and I hate to say it, but I went to school with a lot of people in my massage class that if they knew somebody had HIV, they would probably be like, nope, have a reason that they can't, give them a massage. So I was like, they were like, well, you can come in and give chair massage. And I was like, but I want to give them the experience of a table massage.
Right.
They'd give them a voucher so they could come in and actually get, a massage.
That's
So,
sweet.
but then, I would go and give chair massages too before, different support groups and things. So I know you're on here for me to to ask you questions, but that just
No,
reminded me.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm
And you
starting
said
a
your
new
pet, so
I'm starting a new segment on my channel, which is self massage and wellness. So I
talk about
figured,
that. Tell me about that.
yeah, well, I did the first one just this week on Monday. I'm
Okay.
thinking I'm going to do them on Mondays, massage Monday, maybe,
There you go.
but I'm going to do more than just massage. Like I started off, Bob was like, it's way too long. It was like a 40 some minute video. And I'm like, it's the first one. I'm explaining, I'm talking, and I went over all the stretches you should do for, from top down.
Right.
And I just figured I should put both my loves to use,
Absolutely.
massage and crochet and, do both. I've thought about it for a while. I had done a self massage video a while ago, but I'm like, I knew I could do better than what I had done in that video. And I'm like, I'll start off, with massages that crocheters can use and, move on. But then as I say that, as I said in the video on Monday, that you need to take care of your whole body, not just your hands and your arms, but your whole body, you know, especially your glute area. And people don't want to hear that, but, it stabilizes you when you're sitting
Yep.
even more than when you're standing. So, got to take care of those glute muscles.
Very true.
So I'm excited to see what'll happen with that.
Well, that does
Kathy
sound exciting.
Kathy says, great information in your first series video. I learned a few new things. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you for giving her that feedback. That's really good.
Yeah, Kathy's really good. She leaves a comment on every single video that she watches. So I love that because it's almost like I beg for comments for everybody else. It's like, let me know how you think. Let me know what you like. It's
Well,
been
sure.
getting better.
It helps you to evolve your channel,
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, I just remembered Lottie, who I was trying to think of earlier, who does testimonials as well. She's her channel is Enjoying the Journey. I think it's cancer, enjoying the journey or enjoying
Yeah.
the journey.
I just
Cancer.
discovered her channel recently. Yes.
And then the other one who does testimonials every day, and she's somebody else who comes into the virtual chat that I have in Facebook, is Terry. She's Nana's Crochet Ideas.
Okay.
She ends every single video with a devotional.
Love it.
So,
I used to do a morning devotional.
every day, I remember.
Yeah, for 2 years, but just trying to get back into the workforce, it was just so much. And I was realizing that I was working so hard to feed other souls that I wasn't spending my own quality time with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that that was just as valuable. So I put, 5 hours in is the average, 4 to 5 hours to prepare the Tuesday Bible study. And so I feel like I'm in service there, but I've been able to spend more time with the Lord, and it's helped a lot for me. I need that. We need that own, personal spiritual time with him.
Right.
So,
That's why I think it's kind of nice how Terry does it, where she just, I think Lottie gave her maybe a calendar or something, but something that has devotional sayings in it. And
right.
she just picks one and she opens it and she does the saying and, gives you something to think on at the end of her video. And then, you're on your way. Yeah. So, because she keeps all of her videos very short.
Right.
I try. It's just really hard for me. I'm a very chatty person.
When I did mine as uploads, they were like 3 to 5 minutes. But then when they asked me if I would start doing them live, they would go like an hour. And then I was literally jumping off and rushing to work. And so, but yeah.
I just heard for the first time. I mean, I always knew that you had physical therapy and stuff, but I never knew why until this week that you had spine surgery.
I did.
Um, actually, wow. Hi, Nadine.
Hi, Nadine.
She says, "You two look lovely today, sending love your way." And actually,
Aw.
Nadine would understand this because hopefully she doesn't mind me telling her stuff, but she's had spine surgery also.
Hey,
And
Nisi.
from Nadine, it's the first time that I had heard that when you have certain surgeries, you have to learn how to walk all over again. And then I heard you say the same thing. I can't remember. I was watching one of your videos and you had said that you had surgery and you had to learn to walk all over again. And it just made me flash to Nadine and think of her. And I know all the stuff that she's gone through. And I was just like, wow, I was blown away because I had no idea that you had been through all of that. So, hi,
My,
Freehandly Maid.
my
She's the one I was
spine.
thinking of earlier that drops in.
So my spine had actually started crushing my nerves. And so what they were having to do was go in. And so my spine was crushing my nerves. And then my third and fourth disc, there was nothing in between them. And so they fixed that. And then they carved out a lot of the bone in the spine and hollowed it out. And then they were trying to insert a cage in there because bone will grow back. And so they wanted to insert a cage so that as the bone grew back, that it could not continue growing and crush my spine again, that I would have to have surgery again. And unfortunately, the damage that the spine had already caused had created so much inflammation that they could not insert the cage in the back of the spine. So they pulled me out of surgery, and I actually laid wide open in a hospital bed for a day and a half. And then they took me back into surgery and tried to insert it in the back of the spine again, and it still wouldn't work. And they knew that they were taking a risk of infection if they didn't, close me up. So they inserted it into the side of the spine. But to do that, they had to move the big tendons that run from the hip, like down the leg. And so they had to do that. And so originally I lost complete feeling from the top of my hip all the way down. The only thing I could feel was the top of my foot and the bottom of my foot. And that was the only thing I could move. I couldn't lift anything. I had no mobility, no feeling. And then eventually I started losing feeling from the left side of my hip to the top of my knee. And so right now, after 2 years, February 2nd was 2 years I had that surgery. I still don't have feeling from the top of the hip to the knees on both legs, but I do have mobility. I'm working on strength, but I literally had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to stand. I had to learn how to, be able to have balance. And so it's been a journey. And then the first time I was actually left home alone, it was like 5 months after my surgery, and we felt like it's time. I don't need a babysitter anymore. And I got this crazy notion because AJ, when you're at home and you're by yourself and the rest of the world is moving on around you, you start sinking into a little bit of depression.
Yep.
And I thought, I'm going to get myself dressed, even though I'm not going anywhere. And even though that the physical therapist is coming over, I'm going to surprise him and not be in pajamas. So I decided to try and get dressed on my own. And sadly, my leg just slid out from underneath me
Oh
and
no.
I fell. And I noticed, well, I had to lay there for almost 40 minutes before my husband could get off work and get to me and pick me up. I didn't have my phone with me. I just happened to have the tablet. My iPad was on the bed, and I was able to get that off the bed and call him through Messenger. But anyway, he came home and got me, and we noticed my knee kept swelling, and it was just so painful. And so I called the doctor and told them, and they were like, well, if you feel that concerned about it, you can go get an x-ray. Well, I'm like, well, I'm coming to you in like 3 days and you're going to do x-ray. So there's no sense in going to the ER and having an x-ray and then doing it there. So I waited. Well, they couldn't get an actual x-ray because this is so wild. When I was 10, I accidentally got shot in the knee with a BB gun. And they removed 2 of the BBs at the time, but
But they left
apparently
one in.
there was a third BB. And so that BB would not give them a clear image. And so they couldn't see anything. So we just kind of, went on our little merry way. And that was all in May. And then in August, I started having a lot of issues breathing, and I thought I had bronchitis. And finally, about 4 o'clock one morning, I was sitting on the side of the bed, just struggling to breathe. And I told my husband, I said, this is it. We're going to call the doctor today and see if we can get something for this. Because I just thought it was a chest cold.
Right.
And so when I called to tell them what was going on, they're like, oh, we need you to go to the urgent care. So I went to the urgent care, and long story short, I got ambulanced over to the main hospital. And literally 4 hours later, I passed away. Obviously, God was not done with me because I'm sitting here and I'm not a ghost. I'm a real live person, real live girl.
I kind of remember you telling me before that you'd passed away before.
Yep. And so I had an embolism. I had 4 blood clots, 2 on each lung. And so the great thing about that is, though, when I passed away, I was actually in an ER bathroom. And the nurse that was with me, there ended up being 8 people that came in there and revived me. But she told me that when I was like gone, she was like, Lord, if you bring this woman back, I will know that you're real. So it led to her salvation. So, I mean, God is always working. You just never know. But I had surgery and they couldn't get all the clots out because my body couldn't handle it. And I was coding on the operating table because I was supposed to be completely awake for that surgery. And they had to slowly keep putting me under to get done what they needed to. And I was completely under, and I was apparently coughing up blood. And then I was coding, and they were like, we have to stop. So I took medicine to help break up the rest of that. But I'm here, and my story and my moral behind all that is there is a heaven. God is who he says he is, and he does what he says he does. And I'm here to tell you that there is life beyond this, and it is great. I was dancing and, moving about in ways that I couldn't do in my real current life. And I'll never forget that. But then when I got back, AJ, I got infection after infection after infection. And I finally one day said, God, why did you bring me back if this is my life? And it took 5 months for him to get through my stubbornness, to quiet me enough to say, this is not about you. This is about me using you to show others the light. And talk about pressure. So I look at it in a completely different way now. And I try to make every day count. Every day is important. Even when I don't have good days and I feel like I can't accomplish things, I truly try to be joy, which is what my channel is all about, is joy. And as you can see behind me, even in front of me, I have a big sign that says joy. It's probably about this big. So I have a constant reminder that life is about joy, and that's what God wants to give us every day. And it's so important that we allow our joy tanks to overflow so that we can share that joy with others. And like I was saying earlier, the more we give, the more God can give us. So we've got to get rid of things in order to receive more. And so I look at it as in my life before August 10th of 2022, that God had given me little. And because I learned how to do much with that little, He's now given me more. And so I can't wait to see what this year is going to bring, next year is going to bring, you know. So it can only go up from here.
I can't wait either. You inspire me so much. You say hi, Charcoal?
I'm going to tell you
Say hi
something.
to
You have
Kathy
the
or
most
Cynthia.
beautiful cats I've ever seen, and I am a cat lover. We don't have cats currently, except for the outdoor ones, because we have a rescue dog. But oh my gosh, you have the most beautiful cats.
Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Say, I love to be petted, and Dad went to take a shower, so I had to come over to Mama. Yeah. Yep, him and his sister, a little bit. The other black and white one I was talking about earlier. We think that the people across the street, when they moved, they just left them behind.
Oh, well, what a good family he has
And
now.
they came and found us, huh?
Yeah.
And while we were taking care of them is when I learned about Meow Mission. And they did come and catch and release with him and his sister. That's why they cut the ear. He's got a tagged ear. And they say you're not supposed to take them in the house, but there are babies, they just, they wouldn't leave. They stay on the porch. She had a litter of babies right underneath our bedroom window.
Oh.
Unfortunately, she moved them to somebody else's yard who was not, it must not have been a cat lover, and
No,
they're no
don't finish
longer
that
with
story.
us. So,
Mm.
but they are, so, huh. And we love Zanya every day. Every day.
You know, that's a little segment you could do on your channel. It's like a little meow meow something.
You want to come on the channel with Mama? Huh? Show yourself off. Say Sissy is already your co-host. Everybody's named her co-host from when I first started my channel, because as soon as she hears me start talking, she's got to be right next to me. I was surprised she got down when she did, because when I'm not feeling good, when she laid on my chest, that's where she lays, and that's where she stays.
Oh.
And she has not left my side a lot while I've been sick.
They know, they sense it.
I can usually tell I'm getting sick before I feel I'm getting sick by how she reacts around me.
Right.
Yep. And Halford used to be the same. He would come, if he stuck by me more than he did Bob, I always knew. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm about to get sick because he's over here with me. And he was a
Protect
daddy's
them.
boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Terry, are your ears ringing? Nana's Crochet Ideas says, hi, ladies. We were talking about you and your channel. We were talking about devotionals because Cynthia does devotionals on her channel as well. So we're actually talking about you and Miss Lottie. Yes. Huh. She says no. Yes. I know I met you because I jumped in on your joyful box. Are your boxes still going around, or have you gotten them back?
No, so one that was kind of stuck in New Jersey for about 7 months at the same house. I finally got it. I finally just told them when we finally got them to send it, I said, just send it back to me. But the other two, they just disappeared.
Oh no.
And so, yeah, that's on my to-do list, which that's been on my to-do list, AJ, probably 6 months, to kind of do a closure video of the traveling joy boxes. This July is supposed to be when I started again.
Mhm.
and I haven't really decided because it was kind of hurtful, that you send out 3 boxes and you're trying to, spread joy, and
Uh-huh.
somebody gets it and you know doesn't send it off and doesn't correspond with you and just kind of like ignores you. So I've kind of been praying about it, but um, I've talked with my husband about it, and I think we might do one, and
Uh-huh.
that way, it's out 1 box, because
And it's
all
easier to track.
right. And I think going forward, the thing that I was most excited about was getting the journal bag, and because
Mhm.
everybody would write a little something in there. And so I think this time, when we do it, we will have them put their journal entries to me in an email. So no matter what, I have the journal entry. Um, and then they'll be required to not just give me an email address and their address, but also a phone number. But of course, that doesn't mean anything because they could ignore my phone calls as much as they did my email messages. But
Right.
anyway, so
So the last two people who got the other boxes, they've just ignored you?
right, right.
Wow.
So
And I know other people do boxes like that and they had good experiences. So,
yeah, I've heard of a couple other people, like 2 other people I talked to, and they had issues where some of their boxes stayed in the same place for months. Um,
mhm.
but I mean, I had one person who was like, "Well, I just don't have the money to get to the post office," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not trying to be mean, but you shouldn't have taken the joy box. Then you knew that that
Right.
was
You shouldn't have said that you wanted it.
right." And then I had another person tell me they didn't have transportation to the post office. And again, I mean, we're grown people. So, if you can't receive something and get it back out, then don't participate. That's not fair.
Right.
So,
Well, I can tell you right now, if you do it again, then I want to participate again.
well,
So,
thank you. I think if I do it again, I'm only gonna do one. So,
right.
but yeah. Which I'm probably going to because I already have a little bag of stuff started to start one out. So,
Mhm.
and goodness knows there's plenty yarn behind me that I can stick in one. So,
Well, I know when I got mine, there was like no yarn in it. And I was like, there was absolutely none.
really?
And then I saw somebody who got one of the other ones who it was a great huge box and it was full of nothing but yarn. And I was like, wow. Yeah,
Right.
mine had a bunch of sewing stuff. And I mean, I got a couple little things that that I needed, which it did its job. It made me smile. And I think I can't remember what I put back in it, but yeah.
Well, I learned from some of my mistakes, and that's how life is. We
Right.
learn through trial and error. And so I do think that when I do this year, um, I will definitely start out with people like you that I know that want to do it,
Mhm.
that I have that relationship with, and it's sad because I would love to incorporate new people that I'm just now meeting, but I want to make sure that it continues because when I email somebody and say, okay, so and so has your your address, and they're going to be sending it out to you, and you're waiting and you're waiting,
And you
there's
don't
no
get
going back.
anything.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I mean, I had one person who finally said, "Look, I just don't want to participate anymore," because she waited for 4 months and I felt bad for her, and at that point it's not a joy box.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, one thing I guess that I could say, I know on one of the other boxes that I knew that people like had to sign up for it before it went out. So they already had the whole list, beforehand. And I think it was what was the surprise? I think it was, like you picked a name from a whole list and it was a surprise on who it went to next. And they got the address from the person who, organized it.
Right.
Um, but I was thinking if you wanted new people, the way you could do that if you wanted to was say you need to have somebody who vouches for you, you know,
Right.
somebody that I know or, something like that.
So when my 3 boxes went out, I had about 30 names ahead of time. And
Mm-hmm.
I did pick up new people along the way as people started seeing the videos and seeing what people were getting. And they're like, oh, I want to participate in that. That was great. But what I did is I tried to put, when I got somebody, if they weren't already in a list, I then tried to put them like, I tried to categorize it because it was all done in the States. So like if someone was out on the West Coast, I tried to get them in with the box that was out on the West Coast. If someone was up
Mm-hmm.
north, so that way people weren't having to literally ship from like say, South Carolina all the way to California, or from
Right,
Texas
right.
all the way to, Maine or something like that, that it was shorter distances, and that helped out with the cost as well. So
Yeah.
but as great as my intention was, and then I had it set up so I was sending them out further, so they were going around there in those areas and then trying to migrate them back to South Carolina. But
Uh-huh.
it was all good intentions. I just
Yeah.
didn't have full cooperating participants. But hey,
Like you said, you learn.
tried.
You know, life is a lot of learning
Yep.
and readjusting along the way, and learning some more and readjusting again.
So
I know from my illness, every time you think, you're on an upswing, then all of a sudden, boom, you're back down, and then you're on an upswing again, and then boom. So life keeps on changing or going around and around and around.
yeah. Well, the sad part is Todd and I had actually gone, and for every person that, was on the travel of the Joy Box, we literally were going and purchasing the same gift, but we were purchasing gifts and creating these little bags so that when they all came back, I was going to send those out. And then, of course, we were going to give away all 3 boxes. So it would have gone to 3 people.
Hmm.
But anyway, when it didn't happen, sadly, we didn't send out those gifts, and I probably should have, because there were people who did what they were supposed to. And so
Hmm.
it was like these people ended up hindering the good of these people. And so I learned a lot from it, but I'm not discouraged. It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
disappointing, but I'm not discouraged.
I can say from a person who got it, I did, it brought me joy. It did what it was supposed to, and I love
Yeah,
that.
I didn't have any yarn.
Yeah. Well, sometimes joy is not always yarn.
That's right. That is so true.
And shh, I didn't just say that. But I did say that. Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say I was one of those people who jumped on. So,
Yes, you were.
and I was very grateful that you let me. So, yeah, I had fun with it. And then I liked watching who it went to after,
I did too. Well,
to
I
see,
have fun
what
video.
it accumulated along the way.
Right. Well, I had fun with the video and, making the little video of like where it was traveling to and stuff. That was fun.
Hmm.
And then being able to put the videos of everybody's unboxing up there, it was fun. So, but okay, so you've definitely motivated me to definitely do it again. So, but I probably will only do one. So
Okay. Well, definitely sign me up.
I will.
Great. I can't wait. That's exciting. I would start one. I don't have a lot of prizes already for giveaways, so I don't have enough to, start a box to get it to go out yet. One of
Right.
these days. One of these days. I'm working on it. But now I've got my stitch markers and stuff too. So that was the other thing. I don't even know. Did you know I'm selling stitch markers now too? That I have a store on Facebook.
No, I did not.
Okay. Yep. I need to get my blog going so that I could actually get it out for more people to see.
So
But
is
yeah.
that like Facebook Marketplace or something? Or
No, I just did a group. I don't trust Facebook as far as the marketplace and that. And I was told by a couple people that when you try and actually sell through Facebook. They want everything. They want your social security number and this and that. And, they say for tax reasons or whatever. And they want to know exactly how much money was sent out, how much money, was given, and this and that. And they, down to the cent. And they were like, it's just not worth it. So I was
Right.
told that beforehand. And I was like, okay. So I just opened a group. I wanted to go on Etsy, but they charge so much for each sale, and it's like kind of hard to, recoup your money. And I didn't want to have to charge an arm and a leg for people to get one stitch marker,
Right.
you know.
Well, the reason I was asking what you were doing is, I make stitch markers, but I've made them for probably 6, 7 years now, and I've only done them as gifts. But this year, because I am building, I'm working on a 2-year plan. My
Mhm.
goal was 3 to 5 years, but I've decided I'm going to do it in 2 years. So I'm doing a 2-year plan, and I'm setting the goals that I need to accomplish it. But I'm actually going to open my own store. So I'm hoping in 2 years to be my own boss. And I want to open a yarn barn, and I want to have like yarn and accessories, whether it's crocheting, knitting, cross stitching, whatever. And then I want to have a section that's kind of like a sitting area with couches and
Mhm.
bean bags and stuff, that if people want to just come in on their lunch hour or after work, that they could just come in and crochet or knit or whatever their passion is. And I'll have a table. And then also that table will be used for doing classes and teaching crochet.
Now, why don't you live in Indiana?
It's too cold.
We don't have any, like, hardly any little yarn shops here.
Right.
Hardly. I mean, we used to have quite a few, but Michael's and them, like, just knocked them out.
Gotcha.
And it's really sad. That, and then we had this nice one that I used to go to, and when they started building the road that connects us to Indianapolis, it makes everybody bypass where the shop was, and so it went under because it didn't have the people going, by
Right.
it, as many people going by it as they used to, when it was the only roadway, that you really took from here to go down there.
Right.
So it's really sad. We've lost all of them. The closest one is 45 minutes away, but then after that one, the closest one, they're all hours away.
Thank
So
you, Kathy. So I want to
yes,
start
it does sound great, doesn't it, Kathy?
so I want to start selling my stitch markers, and I've been designing stuff. In fact, I'm working outside of the Stranger Things. I'm working on a design with this blanket, and I've never, I've never like sold my patterns. And so now that I'm building this dream to get there, I need to not always give everything away. And
Right, right.
so I've been trying to figure out ways that I can sell things. Now, I do have a friend who owns a bake shop, and she does let me put stuff in there, but it's usually, stuff like my towel toppers and stuff
Right.
like that, my towels and my dishcloths. But anyway, so I want to start doing that. Well, I was researching, and you can sell on YouTube. I didn't know that. I thought
Well,
in
I
the
didn't know
past,
that either.
right? Yeah, but you can. I went and researched. So I'm thinking maybe like once a quarter or something, just going on and having a night. And there's actually 2 or 3 other content creators that said they would love to do that. They have keychains and they have stitch markers and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And we literally just show our stuff, and people can purchase there if they want. So I don't know. We'll see.
Do you have
I
to be
haven't
monetized though
organized.
to do that?
What's that? I don't think so. I don't think you have to be monetized.
Okay.
You
Well, we
just have
may
to
have
be
to
able
talk
to.
sometime. You may have to tell me about that. I mean,
Okay.
because I do stitch markers. I've learned how to do keychains, so I'm doing keychains and zipper pulls too.
Right.
But I'm offering customized stitch markers. So people can either change the beads, or because I do the ones that have the beads, so I do the little bit longer ones
Right.
with all the beads and stuff. And then I'm also offering, like, if somebody has, say they had this necklace and they just loved the charm and the necklace broke or something, and they just have a charm laying around that they love so much, I'm like, you can send it to me and I'll make a
Great
stitch
idea.
marker out of it for you.
Great idea. Yes.
So I have had somebody send me something that, and I need to work on it because the beads aren't what I normally work with, so I'm trying to find a way to make them work. They're more like
Right.
the rondelle ones that you use for bracelets.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I never thought of it. I was just making them to give them away.
Right.
And Robin from Roaming with Rover, she was like, "Those are gorgeous. You need to sell those." And I was like,
Absolutely.
"Nah, I'm just giving them away." And she just kept on and kept on. And then, my husband's like, "Well, you may want to think about it." So then I decided, yeah, I will. But then, like I said, we looked into Etsy, and when I told him how much it would be, he says, "It sounds like you're going to be giving them 25%." He said, "That's just way too much."
Right. Right.
So I was like, okay. And I've been looking into opening, starting a blog, because being a tech editor, which, by the way, when you start doing your patterns, if you need a tech editor,
Absolutely. I
I'm
remember
here.
that. Yep. I remember that.
Um, but I'm not getting, finding people and stuff. And I was told that I really need to start my own blog. And I started on that. I had meant to have it done by the end of January, but then I got sick. So I'm
Right.
hoping by the end of this month, I get my blog up and going. The thing is, and then I thought, oh, well, I can do Shopify or, Thrivecart or something like that. But you have to have a website that you're paying for. And I need
Right.
to start with a free one first. But I'm hoping that by doing that, I'll at least get more people to see them. And then, because right now I'm using Cash App or Venmo and PayPal.
Right.
So I'm like, hopefully people won't mind as much on the blog, paying for them that way. Because I used to think it was the way they were paying for them, but now I think it's just the fact that a lot of people don't like Facebook and they're just not on Facebook.
Right.
So I don't think they're getting a lot of people seeing them. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy
I
says
would
my
say
stitch
Kathy
markers are
said your
beautiful.
stitch markers are beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I try. I work very
Yeah.
hard at them.
I
And that's the
researched.
thing too, trying to have them ready for the holidays and the different things, and when you're sick and not feeling well. Getting better. I actually order from Ali's Express. It's through China.
Uh-huh.
Um and I guess I used to think, oh, I would never do that. But it's the same exact charms as I can get on Amazon
Right.
and the other places that I'm looking at, but they fit my financial needs better. I just have to wait longer to get them. Um, so it's literally, and I couldn't believe it. Like, some of them, they're like $16 to $20 on Amazon, and I can get them for $2.
Wow.
You know, I got to pay a little bit more in shipping, and they say free shipping, but you don't want to do free shipping. For anybody looking, you don't want to do that. You want to do the drop down menu and get one that has tracking, because when you go free, they give you tracking until it hits the custom boat. And then once it hits customs in the US, or I should say not the boat, but in US, once
Right.
it hits there, they don't track them anymore.
Right. And at
So
that
if
point, they're really not responsible for them.
right. So, and I actually, they sent me, instead of charms, once they sent me the little girls' hair ties with
Oh,
these little charmy things on them. I think they may be the kaiwai, or however you say it, kind of
right.
charms. And I was like, I didn't get what I was supposed to get. And they were like, and I sent them the pictures that I have. And that's the other thing. When you get them, there's a new label that's put on once they go through customs. So they want to see their label. So I had to peel back labels and stuff, because they were like, nope, they weren't going to send me the money. And I was like, these were waiting for a custom order. I said, and since I didn't get them because I never got them, I'm
Right.
like, that's money out of my pocket that I'm not going to get. Because they were like, no, well, you got something. And I'm like, no, I didn't get what I could use. And so they asked for, and I didn't see it in the place where I was answering them back. They wanted a picture of, to peel them back and to show them, their label, which I
Right.
got the picture, but by the time I got it, I had already answered them back, and they didn't give me another way to answer them. And I think my answer got them because I had money in my bank like the next day. Because
Good.
I told them, I said, this stopped me from sending out an order. You guys sent me the wrong thing. I lost money. I said,
And we're
why,
making it right.
why should I have to pay them even though they sent me something that I wasn't supposed to get? And I'm losing money. I said, they should be the ones losing money because they sent me what I didn't get. And I got my refund the next day.
Nice. Nice.
So, hey, Keith's Crochet and More. How are
Hey,
you
Keith.
doing?
Can I tell Keith a quick message?
Sure.
Keith, I talked to Tasha today, and your soap went out yesterday. So you should get it by Saturday, she said. And that's what I was going to tell you, AJ. That's why I researched, because my friend who's been making Joy soap for me, I've been giving it away as giveaways, and everybody started asking about buying it. And so she came onto my channel about 2 weeks ago and sold some. And we're going to do that every other month. She'll
Cool.
come on a Thursday night and show what soap she has available. But I wanted to make sure that that was okay because I didn't want to forfeit my channel to help a friend.
Right.
And so that's when I learned that you can sell. So like, even if you make something like, it's not really a secret, but I haven't really talked a lot about it, but I'm creating a doll line, and it's going to be
Ooh.
some type of Joy collection, but it's going to be dolls, and I want them to represent. It won't be just girl dolls. There will be boy dolls. But when I say represent, I want to make sure that, I have the white dolls, I have African,
Right. Right.
and Indian, I want it to be a thing. And I plan on, even though they're crocheted, I plan on like creating adoption papers and things like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you are familiar with Miss Diane, who's known as Miss C on YouTube. Do you have somebody? You do. Yay. Yeah. So you are familiar with her. I have one too. And when our dog died, she made one that looks just like Mackenzie, and then she made one that looks like Sadie. So we've been blessed by her 3 times. But you know how she puts that cute little story together?
Uh-huh.
So I kind of want to do something like that for each of my dolls as well. And then once I have a doll made, I'm going to give them an actual name. So if somebody wants the same of, an Elizabeth doll or a Susie
Uh-huh.
doll or whatever,
Maybe they could be an Anjanette doll.
there can be. And actually, I love that name. So,
My name has never been on anything that I know of. So besides
well, we'll
an
have to change
actress,
that.
that's how my mom found it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to change that. But so, yeah. So I'm looking at doing that. So I have a lot of things in the make. I have dreams. And I've come to learn that because of what happened in my life, that, you can wait and wait and wait for tomorrow, but sometimes tomorrow never comes.
Yep.
So that's why I've decided to create this 2-year plan. And so I'm praying that some of my dolls will air by next summer. So that's my goal for summer of 2024, is to show dolls. And then sometime in 2025 or the first of 2026 to open my store. And of course,
Awesome.
it's going to have Joy somewhere in the title because, that's just
Of course.
that's my life word. So I
And
pray
they came
that I
in.
bring people more joy than what they had when they came into my presence. So
Well, I know you've brought joy to my life. So I really appreciate that.
thank you. I feel so very because I know I don't get a chance to watch your lives as much as I should and could, and so I feel bad about that. But I'll
Oh,
have to.
don't feel bad.
You'll have to hold me accountable.
You'll have to watch my wellness videos.
I will. I will.
Abby came in. She says, sorry, I'm so late. Keith says, I'm content. So I met Keith because Keith has come into the virtual chats. That's what you need to do sometime is come in. I mean, I'm trying to find a time that people who like to have earlier come in, but by the time I'm done doing my stuff during the day, I don't get time to open it till like 10 o'clock. And lately, because I've been sick, I haven't been opening it as much. But I'm trying to find a day where I can start at like 8. But like when I open it and just say I'm going to open it, then I sit there by myself for a long time. And then it boots me out. And then I have to come back in. And then it'll boot me out. And I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to find people, who want to come in at an earlier time and, who are looking for the same things. But I've met my best friends that way. Like you met tonight. Out of everybody who's come in, I met Kathy that way.
Right.
I met Ambi in lives and chats before that, but I really got to know Ambi better that way. I met I knew Nadine before then, so I didn't meet Nadine that way, but I met Terry, Nana's crochet ideas. And then I've also met my other best friend, Donna. And it's really enriched my life a lot.
Right.
And from what everybody else says, it's enriched theirs as well. And of course, I met Keith that way, like I said. Yeah, Nadine says she can't come in until after 10:30 her time, and she's on the Pacific Coast.
Okay.
So, and Terry's on the Pacific Coast too. So when I open it, they're like, "Oh, perfect time for for them." It's just I can't stay up as late as I used to. I'm trying to get my body set and going to bed at a regular time and not being up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I've been trying to set my limit at 2, because I do have my really late nights. And I figure once I get to 2, then I can try to work on 1, I don't know if I'll ever go earlier than 1 though, because I don't want to completely not see my friends.
Right.
Anymore. So Kathy says you are a joy and inspiration, Cynthia. So glad I got to know you tonight.
Thank you. So I have a funny story. So I've been wanting to do this thing called a joyride. And I kept saying it and saying it. Well, I finally was able to get StreamYard to work on my phone. And so that was about a month ago.
I saw you last night.
And it was supposed to be like 10, 15 minutes just to figure it out, And I started at midnight and I figured, because I was on, another live last night. And so I figured that if I did it then that, everybody would be in bed, except for maybe my friends across the
Oh,
board.
no. There's people up that late.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. So my 10, 15 minutes turned into a 2.5-hour ride around live. I pulled in a couple parking lots and talked to them, pulled back in my yard and talked to them till literally my phone was dying. And it was like 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, whew, thank goodness I'm off tomorrow. It was so much fun. And
Isn't
I
it?
needed that. Because like you can't drive. It had been so long. And so now that I'm able to drive again, it's such a freedom. And driving has always been a stress reliever for me. And it was so much fun. I mean, it was dark, so they couldn't see a whole lot, but it was the conversation, and it was just the doing something on a whim. And the funny thing is I was actually trying to do this because one of my tiers, there's words I don't like. I don't like using lurking. I always say people are silently watching. I don't like calling people subscribers. They're joy friends. I don't like saying I have members, that are part of my membership. I call them, joy team. But one of my tiers is called Joy Riders. And that's one of their perks is that I would literally take them for a joyride. And I just never have been able to do it. And so I was determined I was going to get it working for them. But
that's kind of sad that it's a perk because.
No, hang on. I had so much fun last night that I've decided that once a month I'm going to do it for the general public. And it may be one time, it may be in the morning, one time maybe in the afternoon, it may be at night, like
Cool.
that. So it'll be sporadic, but I'm going to plan it and put it out with a notification in advance. And so anyway, but it may be just a ride. It may be I actually take y'all through a car wash. I mean, I'm just going to try and be creative and fun. But anyway,
That sounds like fun. I saw the heading and it said test in it. So, and it had been like, I don't know, 15 minutes since you had started it. So I opened it thinking, okay, I'm going to watch just a little bit because I only had a little bit of time. And then I realized you were live. And then I was like, whoa. And I'm like, I'm not going to say hi. I'm not going to say anything because I didn't want somebody to start talking to me and stuff. And I'm, and I was like, I got to go. I was tired. I
right.
needed to go to bed. I was, and so I didn't say anything. And I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? And then I thought, okay, I'll have to look into this later because it looked kind of, it sounded like you were having a blast. So I was like,
I did.
cool.
I was so shocked to see how many people came. I mean, I think I had like 9 to 10, but still, I mean, at first I thought I'm just going to talk to myself, basically. But anyway, then when I had people there, it just, I don't know, it was just so much fun. So anyway, but yeah.
Awesome.
But anyone who knows me knows that I am way in bed by that time. And so it was really funny. People were like, what are you doing up and driving?
And driving at night when you haven't been driving.
Right. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I can't wait. I'm hoping that this year is the year for me to start driving. I mean, I feel like I'm ready. I know my husband has some things that he's worried about, and I understand it.
Sure.
I've got chronic pancreatitis. He's worried that I'll have an attack while I'm driving. Well, like I told him, if that happens, I'll, pull over. The thing about pancreatitis, though, that normally when I get my attacks, I don't feel them when I'm sitting down. I don't feel it until I stand up. Now, once I feel it, I will feel it from then on. But
Right.
when it, comes on, I usually don't feel it until after I stand up. And then, and then he's like, when I go over bumps, it kills you. And I'm like, yeah, it does. But when you're driving, you got your hands on the steering wheel, you got your, the foot on the, the accelerator, and then you have the other, the brake, between there or the brake. So your feet are against the floor. So, and you see them coming. When you're in the passenger seat, you don't see them coming. So they hit you by surprise. And, and when you've got your hands like that on the wheel and that you're braced for it and it's coming.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to hurt as much because you're already, braced against the car. So, and I'm like, I can get past those. And, and plus I get tired because I told them, I said, I could drive to the store, which is literally less than 5 minutes from here. I can get a cart and I can walk around the store to get my exercise in because I'm not supposed to walk outside by myself. But if I have a cart that I'm holding on to,
Right.
I'm fine. And plus I'm starting to get more of my stability and, and my balance back. I'm actually walking without my cane all the time. So I'm like, I can do that. And he's like, yeah, but then you're going to be tired. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I would have to make sure that once, I couldn't do like the whole store like I would want to. I'd
Right.
probably have to do half and, and leave. But I'd have to figure it out, start a little bit, just do a
That's
little
right.
at a
Do a little
time
at a
and,
time.
figure it out. But I'm hoping. And the other thing, is I don't, he doesn't always have time to be able to go out with me, because I'm going to have to start in a parking lot again just to make sure, but my friend, she's like, I'll help you. So
That's nice.
we'll see. But she also has a great big, huge, huge van things. And I'm just like, I'm not good with trucks and vans and stuff.
Right.
So
Which
So,
is smaller
we'll see.
than your car.
But my car is closer to the ground. Beth's car isn't smaller than my car. Is it? Okay. I have a Toyota Camry. Yeah. I always want to say Corolla because my grandma and my mom and dad and then my grandma drove a
Before they
Corolla for the
shortened
long
them.
time. So, and Bob says before they shortened them, I guess they're shorter now. But it's not the the bigness, I guess, that bothers me. It's the being up so high
Right.
that bothers me. Like I drove my dad's S10 truck fine, but when he got into a bigger car that, bigger truck that was up higher, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not used to the distance and looking down.
And the S10
Right.
was a four-wheel drive, which her minivan isn't, so it's even lower.
Okay.
Well, just remember to give yourself the grace and the space that you need, And I know,
Yeah.
from experience, you want to rush things, but just your pace and your body, but you're deserving of the grace that it needs to get there. You've only got one body, so take care of it.
I'm pretty good at listening to my body until it comes to at night when I'm trying to look up something online. And then I literally sit here and fall asleep while I'm looking at my laptop.
Right.
But my body still says you're going to sleep. So, and Kahlua, anytime she gets in that position, she puts me to sleep.
Thank you,
So,
Ambi, for your encouragement to AJ.
Nadine says those big trucks have a nice turning radius now, so I think you can handle AJ. I love being up higher, says Ambi. I know you can do it. Yeah, I know. I just need to do it. I know my dad, back when I was driving, he had to go to the hospital that was like an hour away and he needed me to take him. And it was in the winter and he's like, I want you to drive my truck. It has 4-wheel drive. And I was like, no, I'll take you in my car. And my car has, I can't remember what it's called, but it has a good system to deal with the ice and that. I
Oh,
think
right.
it's 4-wheel. Anyway, I was like, no, we'll take my car. It does well on ice. I drive it, plus I drive it every day. So I will do much better. And I'm like, and I won't be sitting up so high that I'm looking down on, all the cars and just being scared to death because I'm
Right.
so high. He was like, just drive my truck. And I was like, no, I'm taking you in my car. Took him in my car and we were all fine. But I just, I'm like, if I'm going to try something new, the last time it's not going to be in the winter.
No.
And I told him, I said, aren't you the same father who wouldn't let me get my driver's license until spring hit? Because my birthday's Christmas Eve, so not only did I have to wait till I was 16, I had to wait 16 and 5 months before I could get my driver's license. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to try something new in the winter. So it's kind of funny, like when my daughter was complaining how licenses are now that they get it but they're restricted for so
Right.
long or whatever. I'm like, at least you're getting it on your birthday. You don't have to wait. I had to wait.
Grandparents wanted her to wait.
So her grandparents wanted her to wait.
Yeah, don't you remember they were mad they couldn't believe I was letting her get her license?
Oh yeah, I guess that's right. My parents always want everybody to wait, but for me, I mean, I understood it was winter. I can remember, oh my goodness, a story that just came to I used to pick up my best friend in high school to take him to school because we had 0 hour for choir because we had swing choir during the day and they put regular choir at 0 hour. Let me see. Keith says I have 3 cats total. Cat toys total I will be sending you. Thank you, Keith. That is so sweet. Send me an email and I will send you my address. And my email is ajspersonaltouch@gmail.com. And I have it listed under all of my videos. And I think I have it in my group as well. I'll have to check that. And if not, I will have to make sure that I get it up at the top. Anyway, I picked him up for school. It was in the winter. we had just had a storm, I don't know, days before or something, but it was warming up. And the thing is, after you have all the snow and it starts to warm up, and then it gets cold at night, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, it's all frozen again.
Right.
So I pick him up, and he lived on a busy road that had, 2 lanes going both ways. And we start going to school, and I go a different way than normal because I couldn't pull out and go. I had to pull out from the traffic that's coming towards us and then turn and then try to go, the other way. And there was just too much traffic going by. I couldn't pull that far out to get going the way we normally did because we lived by a 4-way stop. And we normally go through the 4-way stop, and then that road, if we take it up, goes close to where our high school was. So I ended up having to pull out the shorter way and go with, the traffic, the oncoming traffic. And we went up to going towards a road. It's called Ford Street. Anyway, we're going that way, and I hit a patch of ice, and there was no other cars. All the traffic had gone up already and dispersed, and there was
Right.
nobody behind me, thank goodness, because I hit that patch of ice, and my little car, I had a Chevette, and we just went around and around and around like
Wow.
3 times. And it was just like we were holding on, and it was like, oh my goodness, let us
So scary.
It was really scary, but it never happened again. And he was like, whoa. And then I told him after that, when I was younger and I was babysitting my cousins, there was a blizzard out, and my mom was like, there's no way you're babysitting tonight. Your cousin won't be going out in this. And sure enough, he calls me. He's like, are you going to watch the girls tonight? And I'm like, you're really going to come and get me in this? And he said, yeah, I'm going to come and get you. So he had a benched seat truck. And I get in the truck, and the youngest is between us, and the oldest, she liked to sit up on my lap. Actually, no, I think it was the other way. The oldest was between us this time. The youngest, she got up on my lap. And we're driving, and it is so slick. And I don't know if his tires were starting to go bald or what, but he was having a hard time. He was swaying in the back, or he just didn't have enough weight in the back of the truck.
Right.
And we had to go up onto the bypass. And that was the first thing my dad taught me when I started driving, is when it's wintertime, do not drive the bypass because it's up in the air, and the wind will freeze. It's always ice, and it's the first thing we hear about accidents is up, people driving off up the side, on the bypass. So he's going up, and it's one of those where you got to go all the way up and around. We get about 2/3 of the way, and the truck went vroom, and we had to go back down and pray that nobody was coming up. And we're holding out, and the girls, they started screaming, and then they're like, wee, let's do it again.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, no. I'm like, this is not a ride, because I was on the side where I'm looking down, and I just could see us going down into the middle, and with all that snow, it would have been nothing but free falling, and I was like, no, we're not doing that again. And he was like, okay, we're going back up. And I was thinking, no, find another way home. I know you can go through town, just find another. But no, he did it. It was so scary.
Wow.
But we made it. I've had my times like that. And when I got older and when I got more spiritual and stuff, I'm like, okay, he's watching over my shoulder. But my dad, I told my dad, he literally has an angel on his shoulder. He has been in 2 accidents with motorcycles where he should not have survived. The first one was on a busy road, and there's cars that usually come by all the time. The only time they stop is the stoplight. He was at the stoplight to go left, and the semi took a wide turn, and he knew it was going to hit him, and he jumped off, and he was lucky. No cars were coming. And the semi hit his bike, and he only had a couple scratches on the bike too. He was like, okay. And then the second time was the Tuesday before we got married, and this woman pulled out in front of him, and he couldn't help avoid hitting her. He said he knew it was, because the car in front of her pulled out and she was close, but this one, he couldn't stop. And he's like, in that instant, they tell you your life flashes. He's like, I envisioned what I had to do. He's like, I knew I had to jump over. And he was lucky he was not wearing his helmet. And they wanted to make a law where everybody made helmets and had to wear helmets. And him and the other people from Abate, which is an education group here, for bikers, they were like, no, make it for 18 and younger, but not that adults have to, because we should be able to make up our own mind if we want to wear it or not. Well, anyway, he was not wearing it. And because of that, he was able to tuck his head up and under, and he jumped over. It was a Mitsubishi, so a smaller car. He grabbed onto the moonroof. He literally pulled it out as he went over, because he
Oh,
held onto it
wow.
and he went over. And he said there were cops there who saw the whole thing, and they were like, he would have broke his neck if he would have been wearing his helmet.
Oh my goodness.
And so I just told him, I said, you got little angels who are living on your shoulder. I said, but then again, you may be a cat with only 9 lives. I said, so you need to watch out. I said, but somebody's watching over you.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a lot more than grandma just sitting up there, watching you, and grandpa.
God definitely wasn't done with him yet.
Nope, not yet. And if I didn't believe in God before, I definitely did after that. So, and then hearing your story, it's just amazing. So I want to say thank you. I can't believe it's almost 2 hours that we've been on here.
Oh, wow.
An hour and 42. Well, we were a couple minutes late. So an hour and 40 minutes. So I have had such a wonderful time.
I have as well.
And I want to thank you so, so much.
No, I'm the one who needs to thank you.
Well, we have to do this again sometime, maybe in a couple months or something. But thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys for joining us. And it's getting late, so it's time to say goodnight. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. I don't have anybody lined up for a live yet, but as soon as I do, I will be scheduling the next one. And next week, we will, Ambi and I will be live for AKA, and we will be on Wednesday. We're putting it back on Wednesday at 8 o'clock because we had more people who were able to watch us then, because there weren't as many other lives going on at the time. So, or at least as many lives as our subscribers watch. So we will see you guys then. Kathy says, great live, ladies. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, guys. And I will see you soon. Love you guys.
Bye, AJ. Thank you.
Night. Don't hang up yet.
Okay. Okay.